So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Go.
Back to throw. Clifford. Open man here is Gentry. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Looking to throw. Clifford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Devin White coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Hey, Charlie.
2nd and 14. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really frequent combination. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Clifford. He finds his tight end, Gentry. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Zach Gentry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now a 7-0 game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Down 80! Check. Walk to before. Hey, let's get this.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Allen. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. But now it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking downfield for Godwin. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans. Touchdown number 15 on the year. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and... And he's into the clear. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 77 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll try to run with Hines. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal. 2nd and 1. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. From a yard out, and the Steelers have taken the lead. The extra point up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 43-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Play action. Now it's Allen. He finds his target. It's Evans. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They'll run with Taylor. And it looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about a yard. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. 2nd quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
It's a game of 4, and it's third down.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On first down, Clifford. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. Oh, Cohen lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Allen off the play fake. They'll find Miller. That's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
On third and long, it's Allen. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, first and 10.
General West. Back and go full strength. He's coming. We got double Smith. On defense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Taylor. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long. And the Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is third and 16. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out, first and 10 at the 40. Here's Allen. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And this would have been returned to right around the 38-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On second down now. It's Hines, and this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Clifford. He's going to let this go for the end zone, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Allen. The screen pass here to Cohen. Oh, what a juke into space. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tariq Cohen with touchdown number 8 on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now this throw caught left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Look at me. Score. Let's go.
Looking to throw. Clifford. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Allen going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Allen now looks to throw, and he comes back with one complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught by Evans. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw again on 2nd down. Allen, blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Check right 34. Right 34. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Right 34. Right 34. Scoot. You got nothing today. You got nothing.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this will be caught at the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. One heck of a 3rd down conversion. 33 yards.
First down, Buccaneers.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Allen to throw. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
And a great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. On 3rd and 2, Clifford, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Throwing now is Allen. He completes it to Evans. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. Allen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Off the play fake. Clifford. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Now, both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer 1st down.
Right down 80. Right there, 54 miles. 52. You draw Porter.
1st down, a run with Cohen. Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And that takes us from second to third down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To the air, Allen, and he completes it to Cohen. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
39 yards there, a big one. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Taylor, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Ready. 60 outlaw. It's our time. Get it.
Off play action. Clifford going deep to the end zone for Juju. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 14. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Check. Block 54. Come, baby.
Allen operating from the gun. And his throw here's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Alert.
From the gun, Allen. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. To throw, it's Allen, and he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Get ready.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Leo! Switch!
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And my goodness, another interception. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 32. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They go to the ground again with Taylor. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Clifford alluding to pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Trying to punch it in with Taylor. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
They'll start with a give to Cohen. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He wasn't ready.
Stephon Tuitt on the stop. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. At the 40-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Allen gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tariq Cohen, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
That is today's NFL, isn't it? If you're going to be a running back in this league, you've got to be complete to stay on the field, at least for those 3 downs we talk about. Got to be able to catch it, which he's doing quite well in this one. 2 touchdowns already.
Yeah, a little unconventional. He hasn't been able to cross the goal line as a runner, but as you say, twice as a receiver. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. The give to Taylor. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll run with Mack. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. They'll run for it. This is Mack. And an alley to run. There he goes, left side. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Marlon Mack, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold, because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now, because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. On play action, Allen. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. He's able to get 6, a nice pickup down to the 21. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Looking to throw. Clifford. And he's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Zach Gentry with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On 1st down, it's Cohen. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Check. Crunch. Hey, hold. Mike 5-4.
And the blitz does come. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Shit. Watch twist. Protein spill.
They'll run on 1st down. Taylor, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor, and they're able to get this one across the 35.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
We got to step it up. Check 15.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 8-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Now Allen, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away.
And in the most curious way there to burn some clock. block. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here.